Top of the morning, people. Happy Sunday morning here in Sydney, Australia. Sunday, 12:02 p.m. It's the 7th of November. Week 9 is upon us. If you are still competing to get into the playoffs, congratulations.
Here's the deal. It doesn't matter what your record is. You should still be competing. You know what I'm saying? Why did the Jets want to win one game last year? Well,
I mean,
everybody wants to win. You know what I'm saying?
Depends if you're in dynasty or redraft. If you're in redraft, let me tell you something. If you're in redraft right now, and you're 1-7, and you're currently watching this live, that's just that's big love.
That is, you know what? You deserve something special for yourself.
It's just more like
I'm 1-7 in a redraft league.
Oh fuck! Clap.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna go buy myself boba tea later, just to congratulate myself for still being in it. And shout out to you guys who are still in it.
You'll love to see it.
What's up, everybody in the chat? Y'all know how this works. You drop a question. What do they need to tell us?
Who you sit like? Shit, hold on. I'm trying to fix your okay, screen.
I'll tell. So you need to tell us if it's PPR, half PPR, standard. As much detail as possible is always going to be better. And then we'll be able to give you an answer. We'll answer them in order. Don't worry. We'll answering them both on Twitch and YouTube. So drop a question and we'll answer it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm going to go to Abraham first. I have Kyler, Aaron Jones, Najee Adams, AJ Brown. Oh, cool. I'm assuming you're playing a defensive league. I don't know what's going on with the screen right now.
No, it was me. I was just making sure like what was happening, but it's all good.
Kyler might not play. My backup is Daniel Jones. Jones plays at 12 and Kyler plays at 3:25. He's a game time decision. What should I do? The reality is it's unfortunate that you're not going to know Kyler's situation. He's going to be a game time decision, to be honest, man.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you can sit Kyler unless you have like Colt McCoy on your bench for some reason. Or
yeah.
I don't think you can play Kyler without knowing. Unless you have to go Daniel Jones, basically is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Unless
you have Colt McCoy on your bench and you can just plug him in.
Yeah, I personally don't think he's going to play. Why would they play him and risk him? You know, they're competing to get to the playoffs. I think they will make the playoffs. They need him as healthy as possible for the second half of the season. So I do believe they sit him.
Yeah.
But if he does play, that's surprising, and maybe you should start him if he does play. But I don't like the idea of starting him because he could hurt himself again.
You just want to avoid the unknown. Hey, exactly. If you don't know that he's going to play, you don't want to sit Daniel Jones and he gets 15 to 20 points, and then Kyler doesn't play, and you don't have another option. So you just have to use as much knowledge as possible, I guess. So that's what I would do. Unless you have Colt McCoy, I'm starting Danny Dimes. Can you do that thing where you flip my screen? Because it looks like I'm looking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hold on.
Also, I have AJ Brown, who is questionable, and he plays at 7:25. I have DJ Moore, who plays at 12 on the bench. Should I risk it and start Moore? I have Waddle on the bench, by the way. You got a lot of good options here. But Aki, where do you lean? I would say AJ Brown and DJ Moore are must starts. I don't think AJ Brown's not going to play.
Yeah,
I've not heard any reports of him not playing.
I have AJ Brown who's questionable, so he's asking. I have Waddle on the bench, by the way, so he's wanting to know if he should start Waddle over either AJ Brown or DJ Moore. No, you start both of those guys. I do believe AJ Brown will play. I think they're just saying he's questionable, probably because he took like a.
He didn't practice on Friday. He didn't practice on Friday. He fully practiced Wednesday and Thursday.
It was probably just a rest day for him, to be completely honest. So
the thing that's weird about that is typically those rest days happen on Wednesday. So that is a little bit concerning.
I've seen lately is Wednesday and Friday, personally.
Yeah.
Unless you are questionable going into the week already and you don't practice on Friday, then that's not a good sign. But he already practiced Wednesday and Thursday, so I'm okay to start him. Just if you're concerned, just monitor him and see if what's going to happen.
Yeah, let's hope that you get some more information. But
I do believe he will play. I
think he'll play as well, but it is concerning that it's full practice, and did not participate. Just typically, I've seen the opposite. If it's a rest day, it's on the Wednesday. So we got tough decisions, Abraham. But I hope that helps. What's up, Tommy?
TNT,
what's up, brother?
James Thomas, what's happening? James Conner or Boston Scott? This is a good question. number one, if Kyler plays, James Conner every single day. But if he doesn't play, and we said this last week, James Conner is only relevant because Kyler Murray is going down the field. He's getting them into the red zone, and James Conner is the guy that comes in and punches the ball in. But if Colt McCoy is playing, we don't have as much confidence in James Conner to start him. So it all depends if Kyler plays, and it probably sucks because probably that Eagles game is earlier in the day.
I would lean Boston just for the safety.
What time is that game?
Seems
actually
clear.
Do you know?
I don't, but I'll look up right now.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the schedule.
I would lean Boston Scott. I don't think Kyler's going to play like we said. So with that knowledge,
you do have an opportunity because that game.
Yeah, I mean the game. So the Eagles game starts about 20 minutes before the Cardinals game.
So hopefully you already know if Kyler Murray is going to play or not. But if Kyler Murray plays, you put James Conner in. If not, then we go Boston Scott. So I definitely agree with that. Lucius.
Way cooler than Lucas. That's a badass name.
I need one wide receiver, one running back, and one flex half PPR. Options are Josh Jacobs, Renfro, Elijah Mitchell, Williams, Robinson, Julio.
Darrell Williams, or is that Damian Williams?
I would say Darrell Williams. Kadarius Toney, Boston Scott. So need one wide receiver, one running back. I think we can probably both agree that, Kadarius Toney and Renfro. That's pretty hard. I think it's up to those two. And then for running backs, for me, Josh Jacobs and Mitchell.
Hard.
Josh Jacobs and Mitchell.
Well,
because James Robinson is playing the Bills and he was hurt, so I wanna get him out the way. Darrell Williams or Damian Williams. I don't think I would rather start either of those guys over
I like Darrell Williams
JJ or Elijah Mitchell.
I like Darrell Williams this week. That's where I'm hung up.
Against the Packers?
Packers aren't very good against the run, and he's been great. I mean, he's been so good since Clyde's been out. You have to go Jacobs.
Yeah, I'm going Jacobs, and I might go Tony because no one else is there. But Kenny G is playing. But when Tony went off, he was on the field with Kenny G, so that could be another thing. But at the same time, Kenny G could take touches away. But a Renfro is a safe floor. He's been super consistent, and I think I'm going to go JJ and Renfro. I feel confident in that. If you need, I would go
JJ, Tony, and then for your flex, because you need a flex, I would go Mitchell. I don't think you can sit Mitchell, so I would go Jacobs, Tony, Mitchell. That's what I would do, but it's hard, man. That feels like a trap question. There's a lot of players who could outperform each other. What's up, Stefan? What's up, Enrico? Thanks for joining, brother. Stefan, Daniel Jones versus the Raiders. I don't think will be great. Raiders are number one when creating pressure on the quarterback, and Daniel Jones is one of the worst under pressure. What are the options, Stefan?
It just all depends. Like if you,
he said we skipped him. We didn't skip him. No, we didn't skip you, brother. I don't know what your other options are.
It says if David Montgomery comes back this Sunday, what?
Did we skip him?
It's probably at the very top where you can't see. So if David Montgomery comes back this Sunday,
my bad.
What would that mean? What would that mean for Khalil Herbert?
Oh, if David Montgomery's back, you don't start Khalil Herbert. No, he's not startable anymore.
I agree.
It's going to be Montgomery's job.
Sorry, bro.
I don't know what your options are, Stefan. If there's another option from Daniel Jones, let us know, and we'll tell you if that's the person that you should start. Thanks for joining, guys, by the way. Drop a like if you haven't yet. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Next question.
Nate, if I'm not mistaken,
it's truly epic.
Truly epic. Derek Carr or Tua? I'm going Derek Carr. Nate, should I start DJ Moore or I'm pretty sure you would go Carr.
I would go Carr as well, yeah. But I don't think – I think it's actually a good question. Like, Tua could have a really good game against Houston, but yeah.
I do agree. Nate, should I start DJ Moore on Lamb? If CMC plays, should I start him? If so, CMC plays, you start him, no doubt about it. DJ Moore or Lamb?
I would go CD. The thing with CMC as well is, like, if he starts – I don't think at this point they can even risk putting him out there unless he's actually ready. Do you know what I mean? Like, at this point, it's been almost 2 years in a row of uncertainty and putting him out there too early or whatever the case may be. So if he plays, he's got to be fully healthy, and he probably has the same role that he had before. So you can't sit CMC. Between the two, DJ Moore and CeeDee Lamb, I think I would go Lamb just because of the upside. But what about you?
Lamb plays the Broncos.
DJ plays New England. New England always shuts down the number one wide receiver.
Yeah. And at home. Yeah, I'm going to go Lamb. I'm not in love with it. I think I would rather want to go. I think I will go more, but I think Lamb is safer.
Abraham says, I could stash Jordan Love on my bench just in case he plays 325 and I could risk it. Or would you start Daniel Jones? We don't know anything about Jordan Love, honestly. This is someone who was drafted 2 years ago, and we haven't seen him start a real NFL game ever. So to give advice on him is going to be really hard because, I mean, we know his college tape, but we also know that the Packers aren't even confident in him. You know, they're not super confident in him. I would lean Daniel Jones because I know what I have. Yeah, I would lead Daniel Jones there.
Yeah, if it sounds like you want another option besides Daniel Jones. If you don't want to start Daniel
Jones.
No,
that was two different people.
Oh, was it?
That were asking that question.
Oh, okay.
Stephon and Abraham.
Look, as a Giants fan, Daniel Jones will give you a safe floor. He plays decent when he's at home. And
rushing upside as well.
The rushing upside is there. Obviously, the rushing upside is probably better with Jordan Love, but you can't confidently tell, like we can't confidently say that Jordan Love will perform better than Daniel Jones. But like Zach said, we know the outcome with DJ. So if you want to take a shot with Daniel Jones, that's great. But yeah, I think that's kind of how we
give an example. Like I have a league where I have Aaron Rodgers, and I picked up Jordan Love at first, but I thought to myself, I have no clue who this kid is like in the NFL. I know who he is in college, but I don't know what he can do in the NFL, and no one seems to be confident in him. So I actually switched to Justin Fields. I know that sounds insane, but I need a high upside play, and I know what Fields can do on the ground. I know it's Pittsburgh, but that's how unsure I am of Jordan Love. I want to avoid the unknown. I know Fields is probably a lower floor, but with the rushing upside, you know, that's why I did that. So hopefully that brings some perspective. TNT?
Yeah, TNT. What do I do with CMC? Think he'll be limited? He could be limited, but at the same time, I don't think they'll put him back on the field if he's not 100%. So there could be an option where like they bring him in easily, you know, little by little. But if CMC's healthy, I do believe he gets the full run.
Have to play him.
Yeah, Abraham have Josh Jacobs at the flex. Would you start DJ Moore at the flex instead? No, I'm starting Josh Jacobs with that matchup against the Giants. Would you agree?
Oh, that one's hard because I always want to. Is this PPR? If it's PPR, I would slightly lean DJ Moore, only because I always want to have a wide receiver in
the flex position.
My flex position for a PPR league. You know what I mean? Like if DJ gets 7 receptions and 80 yards, that's okay. But what if Josh Jacobs doesn't get any receptions and only rushes for 80 yards but no touchdown? So it's standard. If it's standard, then you got to go Josh Jacobs. Yeah. That's the right call there.
Okay. Yeah, he says I have Adams and AJ Brown. Standard format, I have Derek Carr, Patterson, Henderson, Diggs, Adams, Higbee, Moore in a flex. Should I start Rondon Mill, Khalil Herbert, or Jarvis Landry at a flex?
I feel pretty confident. Like Landry is the one here. I don't think Herbert's going to get. It looks like Montgomery's going to play, which means Herbert's not a good start. I love Rondale, but you could be looking at 2 points or 20.
Yeah,
it's just not reliable right now. To be fair, AJ Green is out. So is D-Hop probably, but so is Kyler. You know, it's just like, what are you gonna get?
Yeah,
I would go Jarvis.
Yeah, I like Landry safer as well.
And also feel like Baker and Jarvis are gonna be really close after this OBJ thing.
I think after that, like after OBJ is gone, they're just gonna focus on them. You know, they still have an opportunity to win. It's gonna be interesting. I wonder if that relationship with Jarvis is bad with OBJ. Anyways, Thomas, is it worth picking up Chuba or Jeff Wilson? I still think
I will go Chuba.
Yeah, I still think it's valid to pick up Chuba. You never know what's going to happen to CMC, and if CMC goes down again, then Chuba is still the guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Heads for following on Twitch. All love, brother.
Hey, appreciate that, man. Big love. Yeah, just quickly on that as well. I agree. Like CMC, while he's a must start, if he comes out and injures himself, it's probably he's done for the year. So that means Chuba would be very valuable. Jeff Wilson, I think it's Elijah Mitchell's backfield. I think Wilson will play the third down type role that Hasty is playing right now. So Stephon Barr.
Yeah, we already answered that question. That was the first one, Abraham.
Oh, my bad.
I think we said yes. It is a risky play. Because the Patriots.
You don't start Herbert, yeah.
Yeah. Keenan, half PPR. I got Tua, Chubb, Ty Johnson, Higgins, Bateman, Freiermuth versus Jefferson, Jefferson, and Cowboys defense.
One's hard to understand.
Yeah. Ty hooked me up with garbage time, but it's worth going after Rondale Moore and dropping Carlos Hyde.
I got Tua, Chubb, Ty Johnson, Higgins, Bateman. I'm trying to understand. Okay, so
Van
Ty
Jefferson.
hooked me up.
Jefferson.
So Ty Johnson he played. Is it worth picking up Rondale Moore and drop? I mean, here's the deal with Carlos Hyde. They're playing Buffalo. Even if James Robinson doesn't play, I'm not going to play Carlos Hyde personally. Mm-hmm. It's the best rush defense in the NFL, right? It's the best defense in the NFL. And by the way, Trevor Lawrence is a sit as well. You know, last week they played Seattle, which isn't a good defense, and they couldn't do anything without James Robinson. Yeah. Now they're going to play Buffalo. It's just a bad situation. So I would do Rondale Moore. Yeah.
Yeah. Same. Tyler, pick 2, Debo, Brandon Cooks, Deontay. I think it's easy. Debo and Deontay for the both of us. That's pretty easy. Mm-hmm. Gator fan, start 3 out of 5. Boston Scott, Connor, Claypool, Tony, Higgins. So I think we will both
PPR.
Yeah, I think we will both say Tony, Higgins
Claypool.
And Claypool. Yeah, I like those 3. Timothy Clark and a flex, Beasley or Boyd.
That's a hard one, actually.
It's a great question.
Both are not necessary to their offenses in order for their offenses to succeed. That's what makes it hard on a weekly basis. You know, their offenses aren't reliant on them.
I think I will go against the harder matchup against. So I will go Tyler Boyd over Cole Beasley purely because
feels like they'll need.
Yeah, the Bills don't need him. Where the Browns could put up a fight. This is a divisional game, and maybe Tyler Boyd could play a big role in this game. Let's go to Twitch really fast.
Yeah. Hey, Heads. Just so you know, we're also streaming on YouTube. So we stream on Twitch and YouTube. So we just answer the questions in order. Whatever comes up on Streamlabs, we'll promise we'll get to your questions for sure.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
By the way, we can't necessarily see your. I mean, I don't think I can copy and paste that. But
what?
He wants to see. He wants us to grade his team or like look at his team. If you can, it'll probably be easier if you actually write your team out for us because we won't be able to see that image on there. I mean, unless we can.
I can see it.
Okay. Yes.
I can see it. I am shit deep.
Really fast?
Huh?
You want to like grade his team really fast and kind of see what he's up to?
I just want to read it first, see what he was saying. I haven't read it yet. I'm shit deep here this week, and I need all the help I can get. Can I post a screenshot of my team? Yeah, for sure. Can't tell if they're late. Okay, right. So let's have a look here. Kyler.
I think the team's decent. Yeah, Kyler,
D-Hop.
Kamara.
That's probably the issue here is Kyler and D-Hop. You don't know who's going to play. Yeah, I mean, look. I personally don't think that Kyler's going to play. I could be wrong. Like, we both are on the same page there. We both don't think Kyler's going to play in this game. So, I don't love starting Colt McCoy. I would probably start Tua in this situation because I don't know. Because if Kyler plays, that sucks. And, like, you missed out on playing Kyler. That's awful. But what's even worse is if Kyler doesn't play and you just have to start Colt McCoy.
Yeah.
So I would probably start Tua personally.
Yeah, what's good about your situation is that both Tua and Kyler both play in the afternoon, but no, Tua plays at 1. Oh shit.
So that's a tough decision.
That is a tough
decision.
And
then with D-Hop, I don't think he's gonna play either. So I would probably go ahead and start Renfro.
Yeah, I would the same thing.
Or no, I would honestly, I think I would put Renfrow where D-Hop is, or I would put Woods where D-Hop is, and I would start Darrell Williams potentially against Green Bay.
I wouldn't do that. I would start. That's what Zach would do. I would personally, yeah. If D-Hop doesn't play and Kyle doesn't play, start Tua, Robert Woods in your wide receiver 1 position, and then you can either start Renfrow or Dallas Goedert. That's what those are the 2 options for me. So it's a decent team though. We definitely get it how it's
tough. This is a tough one, man. Mm-hmm. And honestly, there's not a clear option. I'm sorry. This isn't one that we could confidently say this is 100% what's going to happen, but we can only tell you, which is what we can only ever do on this stream, what we would do if it was our team, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I would move Woods where D-Hop is, and I would flex Darrell Williams. He just got such a good upside. Super consistent in the passing game as well. And then I would just start Tua over Kyler if I didn't know. Yeah. If a report comes out before the morning games, Kyler's going to play, then you play Kyler. But I don't think I think it's going to be a true game time decision. So
yeah, I think both of them are true game time decisions. I see in the chat, he was like, he thinks D-Hop will play. I don't think I'm confident starting D-Hop if Kyler Murray's not playing. So I think I'll still take the safe floor with Hunter Renfrow in that flex position if D-Hop is playing. Like, that's a hard decision. Like, here you say we have everything says start your stars, but at the same time, D-Hop is really reliant on Kyler Murray. And I don't know if...
Yeah, and D-Hop didn't practice much.
Mm-hmm. So...
I mean, he played last game, but he only played 25% of snaps.
Yeah, so it's a bit difficult. So.
Nah, I think you have to sit D-Hop. Look, this is only what we would do. We unfortunately can't tell you what's going to happen, but this is what we would do if we were you. I know it's a tough decision, but I'm going Tua. I'm not going to risk not knowing, and I don't think there's a chance Clyde's back this week, by the way, if you're worried about that. I saw a comment. I don't think he's back this week.
Yeah. All right, let's stay with Twitch really fast. One last question here. Epic. I joined a 32-man league mixed season. Now I do not have any players because I traded for rookie picks. Dynasty league, okay. Is that it?
Are you asking if you should trade for Stafford? No, I got Stafford. Oh, see, he traded for Stafford.
Oh, I traded for
Eckler, JT.
Oh, so he.
What do you mean you don't have any players? These are all stars.
Plus, I'm holding Barkley.
I mean, dude, your team looks great. I mean, I don't understand how you have that team in a 32-man league.
32-man league. That makes no sense.
That's an elite team in a 12-man league. I don't understand how you have.
Maybe he meant to say 12-man league.
Oh, I mean, 32-man feels very specific. He just said
different league. Sorry. Okay.
Let's go back to YouTube.
Yeah, let us know with that team, and then we'll come back to you. All right. Where were we here?
It's Ed Sapp. He said, "Weekend Spade. What's up?"
Oh, what's up, bro?
Hey, if we could make as much money as Spade in the weekend, that'd be cool. Tommy says, my bench includes D. Smith, Mooney, Dearness, Connor, Bateman. What should I give up to try and acquire Ayuk? Yeah, we saw this. Shout out to Tommy. He supports us over on Patreon, and he's got the fantasy hotline. We've been chatting with him this week. And the link's in the description if you want to support what we do with Patreon and get some exclusives in return.
Yeah, I think the first one that comes to mind, I don't know about you, is probably Dearness. When Kareem Hunt comes back, he's not going to be super relevant.
Yeah, very temporary.
Yeah, so if you can trade him away and hopefully, Ayuk can figure out what's happening in the second half of the season, then maybe you can find something. But at the same time, Ayuk...
He's actually the only one on that list I would trade away for Ayuk.
Yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't move Bateman. I wouldn't move Connor, Mooney, or Devonta Smith. So Mitchell, Ertz, or I think if Kyler doesn't play, I would go. I would actually just go Ertz.
Yeah,
like just Ertz. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. You go Ertz.
Yeah,
agreed.
I do agree.
I think the reason is because there's already going to be no D-Hop, no AJ Green. Ertz feels like the most safe play if Colt McCoy plays.
Thomas, by the way, fantasy somehow hates my team projected to lose by 36. It's okay. Honestly,
projections.
Don't look at projections. I actually hate projections. I never look at it. Every single week.
I mean, look,
I'm destined to lose.
Here's a great example. Badaki and I played last week, right? And in the second half, in the second slate of games, I was given a 6% chance to win, and you were given a 94% chance to win. The thing is, I still had like 6 all-stars. Eckler, Kenyon, Like I had a bunch of people playing Godwin, and I'm like, this is so stupid. I could still win this game. Anyway, I ended up winning it. So projections don't mean anything. Sleeper projections don't mean NFL app, ESPN, Yahoo. They don't mean nothing, honestly. Like you just don't let them phase you.
Yeah.
And by the way, in another league, I was projected to win every game this year, and I'm 1-7.
Yeah.
So
just a fat GGs.
Honestly.
Ed Zappa had a worse week than Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I think a lot of people did. Abraham, my tight end for this week is Awalawalaba. He's questionable, and Ingram is on waivers. What would you do?
Who would you rather start? That sucks, man. First off, that just sucks that you're in that position. I think I would lean Ingram, but I hate it. I mean, I don't love starting Albert. I'm just gonna call him Albert O because I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I would lean Evan Ingram versus the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to be able to score against the Giants, and the Giants are going to need Evan Ingram to do something.
Yeah, and Evan Ingram, he's going to start to get utilized. Hopefully, I mean it's also hard because Kenny G is coming back. So,
is he confirmed back?
At the moment, it's like he should be playing this week.
That's weird that they would bring him back before the bye week. Why not just make sure? I would lean Evan. Next question. Ed, one PPR, James Conner or Mike Davis? Ooh, that's tough, man. If Kyler doesn't play, I'm gonna go Mike Davis. Do the Falcons play in the later games? The Falcons play in the earlier games. So without knowing what's gonna happen, I don't think Kyler is gonna play. I would lean Mike Davis, but I hate that. That's tough. Thomas, given that bench, who should I drop for Chuba? Dearness would be who I would drop for Chuba. Ed, Sapp, Cole Beasley or Claypool, one point PPR. I would go Claypool. I think he has a better game this week. Do you agree?
I agree.
You don't beat the Bears on the ground. You beat them through the air. Tag, what's up, Taggy? First timer. Welcome to the stream, my guy. Hey. Thanks for joining us.
All love, brother. Thank you.
Hyde, Duke Johnson, Derek Gore, Pat Freiermuth, Tajay Sharp. Ooh, this is rough. You don't play Hyde. You don't play Duke Johnson. You don't play Derek Gore. So it's between Pat and Tajay, and I'm going to go Pat.
Maybe he wants to stash it. Yeah, and I'm stashing Pat. We love Pat Freiermuth the Dragon.
We call him Pat the Dragon.
Pat
Why?
The Dragon.
I don't know. We just started calling him
He's
that.
just a great guy, honestly. And
I think it's because the first time we did a podcast, you called him Pat Firemouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was funny.
Oh, yeah, GG's to Henry Huggs.
Yeah, we can't say Henry Huggs anymore. One time we were on a podcast and Badaki said Henry Huggs on accident instead of Ruggs, and it was just funny. But now we can't talk about it. And shout out. I'm not shout out. Whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just
thanks for
we want to send love to everyone in that situation. Fuck me.
That's terrible. GG's boys. GG's anyways.
FIFA flow. Sup boys? I have AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, Deontay. I can only start 2. Who do I sit? That's actually really difficult. I would say Justin Jefferson. I would, with the unknowns of AJ, because AJ is a later game. I just would avoid that situation personally and sit AJ.
You would
avoid. They're all great starts.
AJ Brown. You would sit AJ Brown
because you don't know if he's going to play. But Jefferson and Deontay are both really good starts already. So
I'm pretty confident.
I just don't want to be in a situation where it's a surprise and then you could have started Deontay, but he's on your bench.
For sure.
But to be honest, though, like Deontay plays on Monday Night Football, so you're set, bro. If AJ plays FIFA, this is actually super easy, and Badaki's going to be on the same page with me. You're going to find out if AJ Brown's going to play. If he plays, you sit Deontay Johnson. If he doesn't play, you start Deontay, who plays on Monday Night Football. Easy. Done.
Agreed.
Thomas, is it time to give up all my Keenan, Herbert stack and trade Allen? Absolutely not. No way.
I'm not doing that.
I mean, you would be giving up way too early, and it's second half season for Keenan Allen. Hopefully what he did last week is going to give you a little bit more hope. There's absolutely no reason to trade Keenan Allen. He's still top 5 in targets, getting a ton of targets. Mike Williams is the one I'm more worried about. No, you don't trade Keenan.
No.
And by the way, Keenan's playoff schedule is one of the best. Depending on when your playoffs start, week 14 Giants, week 15 Kansas City. Like, could you imagine going into the playoffs with Keenan Allen versus Kansas City?
Could be something
and then
special,
Houston in week 16. You don't trade Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I agree.
Gators, next question.
Sorry, Gator. What should have mentioned from my previous question? One of these 3 has to be a running back. Right.
Oh, so his previous question that was up there.
Gator fan.
If one of them has to be a running back, then I would sit Claypool and start Scott.
Yeah.
I think you can agree.
I agree.
By the way, guys, if you don't know what's going on, we're answering all your questions for week 9. So all you got to do, drop your question. I promise you we'll answer them. We just go in order. Okay. So if you're like, what's happening? Like, we'll get to your question. I promise you. Give us details, PPR, half PPR standard. That's going to help us answer your questions. Drop a like if you don't mind to show some love. Subscribe, follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube.
JJ. My running backs are Zeke, Josh Jacobs, Elijah Mitchell, Miles Sanders, wide receiver. I got Devonte Adams, JJ, and DJ Moore. Got offered a trade for DJ Moore and Elijah Mitchell to get Eckler and Chris Carson. Accept or no?
This one's interesting. Running backs are Zeke, Josh Jacobs, Elijah Mitchell, Miles Sanders. Okay, so you're only losing Elijah Mitchell from that. And you would add Eckler, which is massive. Your wide receivers are Devonte, Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore.
I would do that.
So you're losing DJ. My question, JJ, is what's your wide receiver depth? So who's after Devonte Adams and Justin Jefferson? Regardless, yes, I would do that because Eckler is like a top 5 PPR play every week.
And it's just nasty, you know. Like I think you have to have those guys. Yeah, so I'm pretty confident.
And even if like the other wide receivers on your bench are like a Crowder, you know what I mean, like a Crowder, Bateman,
a Renfro, like somebody super low.
Yeah, I would be super confident
to take
doing that.
Yeah, 100%.
I like that trade for you. That's a trade to like win the whole thing. I love it.
It's what do weekend though? What's happening, brother? I'm chilling here, you know. Sunday afternoon. What about you?
What would weekend do? I love it.
Gator fan 2.
I think he's asking what you would do between Cole Beasley or Claypool, which I think you said.
I said.
Oh, James Conner and Mike Davis. I think you and I agree we would go Mike Davis because we don't know if Kyler's
going to play. Correct. Sorry.
2-parter. Thoughts on Gibson rest of season, and would you be willing to roster both Kenyon and Mike Williams? No. I'm willing to roster Eckler and one of the wide receivers, right? I'm cool with that. But I don't personally want to play Williams and Kenyon on a weekly basis, so I'd be looking to trade one of those guys. You know, I think I would be personally wanting to trade Williams because it's higher boom, higher bust. Deontay Johnson's the name I would go after. DJ Moore's the name I would go after. Amari Cooper. Just kind of names that are a little bit more consistent than him. Maybe smaller ceilings, but more consistency. Even like a Deebo Samuel at this point. I would prefer Deebo over Mike Williams.
Well. Should we go to Twitch really fast?
Yes.
There's a couple questions there on Twitch. Okay, heads up. Blah, blah, blah. I actually do like D-Hop. I should do D-Hop will play, so leave him in the flex, blah, blah, blah. Okay. CH is coming back this week, though.
No, this is old. The next one is from Heads. Side note, do you think it's worth stashing Ridley? I have him stashed since I saw the owner dropped him. Yeah, for sure. Ridley's not a drop. He's a stash. And some people might have to drop him because they just have to with bye weeks and stuff. But hopefully you can put him on your IR because he is IR eligible and sleeper.
I'll be honest.
You have to stash him.
I think
you don't drop Ridley. Even if he plays one more game, like, no, you can't drop Ridley.
And I don't think that's worth it. You know, like, I think that there's 2 arguments to that, and I'm somebody on the opposite side. If I have Ridley and maybe somebody thinks he's worth it to stash, then yeah, maybe you should trade him away. But I don't think he's worth stashing because next 3 weeks, you know, week 13, he comes back. Week 13, week 14, and then he doesn't play in the playoffs. So let's say he doesn't play in the playoffs. There's no point because I'm going to
tell you a list of names that are wide receivers that are available in our league. It's a 12-man league. Who the hell of these lists are you going to take over just trying to stash Ridley? This is where I'm coming from. Sammy Watkins, Deontay Harris, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, James Washington, Chester Rodgers, Quez Watkins, Alan Lazard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I mean, I get it, but
it's just none of those names are intriguing to me. So I would just stash Ridley and see what happens.
Yeah, I think they're depending on your league. I don't know if I'm willing to stash him. If let's say one of my people's hurt, let's say somebody gets hurt and you need that IR spot, I'm just gonna drop Ridley. To be completely honest, I don't think he's gonna come back and play this year. But that
he's on his IR spot anyway.
Yeah, it all depends on
you're fine.
How you feel.
He's on your IR.
Okay. Epic, right?
Yeah, I'll just quickly go over the good teams took over 10 trades and 30 waivers. That's right, bro. Like good teams, it takes trades and waivers, smart moves. The 32 I started with Washington football team and traded for a ton of picks. What rookies do I target? Any sleepers? I'm going for Breece Hall and Drake London because I like them. I would be cautious with Drake London because he just fractured his ankle. I loved Drake London. I actually talked to you about him about 2 weeks ago. I loved Drake London, but he fractured that ankle. I like Garrett Wilson. The kid out of Arkansas is one of my favorite project wide receivers. Treylon Burks, I think is his name. Still very early Epic, but stay tuned to the channel because we're gonna probably do a Dynasty channel soon.
One. Yeah, exactly.
And we're gonna be talking about a lot of those players. So it should be Tamian, by the way. I went to high school with Drake, so I will be getting. Yeah, Drake's a big talent, but fractured ankle. Honestly, his draft stock is gonna fall significantly.
If you went to high school with him, send him a text, bro. Hit him up on
Facebook.
Text.
Yeah, hey, bro, how's your ankle?
Hey, man, how you doing? Okay, it's been a while. It's been a while since high school. You good? You all right? How's that ankle?
But stay tuned to the we stream on Twitch and YouTube, but we cover a lot of Dynasty content in the off season. We'll definitely be talking about the rookies. All right, I think it's James.
Yeah, start Hyde or Herbert.
Sorry, we didn't answer what our thoughts are of Gibson rest of season. I'm pretty worried about him rest of season.
Yeah,
because of the injury.
There's definitely worry. If he comes back after this bye week and he's participating fully, they're comfortable about this fracture, even though the fracture should take weeks to heal, then I'm comfortable.
This is what's concerning though, is like last game, Gibson was taken off the injury report altogether. And then he came in and is a three running back backfield. So I'm worried. I don't think it's Gibson's fault. I just think this injury is not something that you recover from. It has to take an off season, but he's definitely worth a stash right now to see what's going to happen. Right. James, start Hyde or Herbert. That sucks, man. That's a terrible situation to be in. If Robinson doesn't play, I go Hyde.
Yeah, I don't love it.
That sucks.
Nathan, full PPR, Devonte Williams, Chanel, or Bateman. I think we'll go Devonte.
Yeah,
Devonte. Love Devonte here. It's just it has to be him.
Projections are way off. They're so off. Midnight 201, full PPR, 14-man league. Wide receivers: Adams, Allen, McLaurin, and Devontae Smith. Running backs are James Robinson, Jeff Wilson, Josh Jacobs, and Gaskin. Tight end is Ertz. Who can I trade to get at least I'm assuming that's supposed to be a top 10 running back. All right, so these questions, I always have to say, are really hard to answer on a live stream. And the reason is because we could go tell you to trade for a certain player, but that doesn't mean the owner sees the value. Everything is always determined by what the owner values players by. So we could tell you to go get Darrell Henderson, but the owner's probably not going to trade him, Yeah. So it's like going to Sonic and asking how many drink combinations are there? Millions. There's millions of ways to do different trades. There's millions of combinations. So we can't give you like a specific name. But I would say if I was you, I would be trying to package. The thing is, bro, none of your running backs are very trade friendly, unfortunately. I would be trying to package maybe a Josh Jacobs and I don't know, man. Your roster is really hard to do package trades.
For me, this is what I would do. Purely because he was on my trade away segment last week, and it was Terry because of the playoff opportunity. Zach doesn't like it because of the targets, and he's right. But if you are a team that's trying to make it to the playoffs and you want to, solidified points week in and week out with opportunity, maybe you can trade a McLaurin for Josh Jacobs for Eckler. Maybe there's somebody out there that wants to do that because maybe they're struggling at wide receiver and they're okay to – and they love the targets for Terry, and you can probably get an Eckler who still gets the targets and the opportunities on the ground. That's probably hard.
As an Eckler owner, though, I don't think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it all depends on the Eckler owner. That's why what Zach said. He's like, it all depends on the owner and what that owner wants.
It's a really hard question to answer. I'm sorry, man.
That's something that I would try to do, but it all depends on maybe you don't want Terry because you love the targets. Cool.
Yeah, that's where I stand, but I get the conversation. I got screwed with Fant this week. Picked up Uzama. Saw somewhere that they have a linebacker out, and they haven't been good against tight ends. Yeah. I mean, Uzama's a Hail Mary play. You never know what's going to happen. Our knobs start two: Chuba, Tony Pollard, and Devontae Booker. I don't think that Chuba is going to be the starter. So if CMC plays, I will go Pollard and Booker.
Yeah, love it.
But Booker's a must start there out of those options.
Well, Tony.
Abraham.
I like Tony and Booker personally.
Yeah. Anyways. That's what I said.
I heard Pollard and Booker, but anyways.
Tony Pollard is the same thing as Tony.
Tony Pollard. I thought Kadarius Tony. I just saw Tony. I thought Chuba, Kadarius Tony, Pollard. Sorry.
You're good. What's the next one?
Abraham, the other tight end on the waiver wires are Hooper, Hurts, Clement, Sweeney, and Komet. So you did twice. I have Logan Thomas, but he's on a bye, and IR. So it's either Ingram or any of these other guys. The only other guy I will probably pick up is Sweeney, but I don't think they'll utilize him because it is the Jags.
No. Yeah.
No, I was run with Ingram.
Yeah. I mean, no, you can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna run
maybe
with
Hooper, maybe Komet, but they're all.
I'm not in love with
whoever gets a touchdown is going to be the better play. We don't know who that's going to be.
It's Sapp. Chubb going to get back on track. I hope so. I think he does better with Kareem Hunt. That's what it seems like right now.
He's on set to have a better week.
Yeah, so it all depends on what happens this week. Dried Ocean. Do I play Andrew CMC or Mitchell or Damian Harris full PPR? You have to start CMC. Start your stars. If CMC is playing, you start him.
Yeah. And if you have to choose between Mitchell and Harris, I would go Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope that helps. But CMC is definitely a must start. Who wore it better, Spade or Weekend? Black shirt. I saw you wear a white shirt on one of the streams once. Or last week, maybe?
Just got a white shirt the other day. I went a little bit of shopping, but I just got a white shirt and some shorts because it's getting hot. It's getting hot now out here in Sydney, Australia. Where are we?
Wahab. Do I start Mike Williams or Ayuk if Debo is limited? You got to start Mike Williams.
You have to start Mike Williams. No doubt about it.
You can't start Ayuk over Williams.
FIFA Flow. Would you guys rather start Tua or Taysom Hill this week? Great job answering the questions fast to the point. All love, man. I think I will go Tua.
Yeah, Taysom's not even the starter.
Yeah,
it's already been confirmed that he's not the starter.
Let's go.
It's going to be Trevor Simeon.
Let's go, Simeon. Big week this week, brother. Big week. I'm starting him in the league, and I need him to step up right here, right now. Yeet.
All right, yeet.
Debo, Waddle, or Judy. I think we both say Debo if he does play and everything goes well.
Yeah, if he doesn't Waddle.
Here we go. We have a bunch of questions on Twitch. I don't know if you want to go there. Or we want to just answer.
There's actually no questions, just statements. But he says, Epic says that he was a DB, a freshman DB when Drake London was a senior wide receiver and he couldn't cover him, which is funny. I mean, I would never be able to cover Drake London. So
I'll cover him.
No.
Honestly, if you see him again, tell me he's a little bitch. Nah, jokes. I actually don't know him.
That's just someone that's.
I actually don't know him. But
starting nonsense for no reason.
That's funny.
Ed says high school with Iverson, but I'm old. That's actually big time going to high school with Allen Iverson.
Ed,
but you didn't know who
is
he
that
was
dead ass though? I want a yearbook picture right here in the chat. Find it right now.
Let's see it, Ed. Thanks. I will try to convince the owner. Yeah, Midnight. And I think the best thing to do, Midnight, is to reach out to the following owners. The owner of Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, Zeke Henderson, and just seeing what they would sell for. That's what you have to do. Yeah. I'm hoping my team can boost tomorrow. Have been getting underperforming players lately. Yeah, Tommy, I feel you on that one. Yeah. B-Dubs. Should I drop Darrell Williams to pick up Tony? I have Clyde and running back depth. That one's hard.
That is hard. It all depends on your wide receiver depth.
From what I've heard, Clyde is more like 2 weeks away.
Well, that's the reports that Clyde had the opportunity to get off of IR, and he's still struggling.
He's still there.
Yeah, he has another 2 weeks.
The reports is closer to a potential return, but we'll have to see. I mean, he's still on the IR.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would keep Darrell Williams if you need to win now, and you need to start him. Otherwise, you could take Tony. You know, if you're in a place where you don't need Williams, you could pick up Tony. Otherwise, I'd keep Williams for now. You got to get the wins right now. Tommy, I'm hoping for an upset for you. Derek Carr, Tua, or Kirk? As in, I'm assuming that's Kirk Cousins.
I'm going Carr. Still going Carr.
I'm going Kirk just because.
Who's he play?
I think they're going to have to score against Baltimore. I don't know that the Giants can put up as much points as the Baltimore Ravens can.
Okay, I get it. Where are we? TNT with A-Rod out with COVID. Start Tyrod, Simeon, or Jones, and please rank them in order.
Yeah, this one's actually relatively easy for me. I would go Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor, and Trevor Simeon.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I would do. Ed, 1994, Bethel High School, Hampton, Virginia, yearbooks at mom's house. You love to see it.
I grew up in Virginia.
2 up, 2 down, 7 cities. Come on.
Newport News area. Newport News. It was about 40 minutes from Richmond.
Richmond. Should I drop Jerry Jeudy for the Bucs defense? I'm stacked on wide receivers. I think the Bucs the playoff schedule might come clutch. No. I think you should probably put the rest of your squad on there so we can tell you who
Judy's got much bigger trade value than the Bucs defense.
There's surely somebody else that you can drop that is a wide receiver.
Judy's gonna have a good second half of the year.
Even a running back. So. Yeah, I do.
And defense, you can stream each week. And defense is also super unreliable. I mean, you remember when everyone drafted Washington Football's defense? That's like the first or second defense this year. Like, defense is just unpredictable, and I don't think the Bucs are very good in their secondary, so they can. It's just not something I would do.
Let's go on Twitch really fast. There's a couple questions on there. Now heads up, heads. Okay, here's an update. Okay, I think all things said, this is the safest and best options for me. Okay, Tua, Kamara, Zeke, Judy, Renfro, Schultz, DeAndre. Okay, he took Woods. Okay,
I'm good with that. You know, only... Ooh, I wouldn't sit Woods.
Well, he's not sitting him. So, like, I think I see his thought process. If DeAndre Hopkins does not play...
He's going to play Woods.
He's going to play Woods. But if DeAndre Hopkins does play, then that's a big question. Then you have to put DeAndre Hopkins... You start Woods over Hunter Renfro. But that's another thing because Renfro plays on 1, so you can't do that. So you have to.
Yeah, I'm okay with this, actually. This makes sense to me.
I think I would just still rather start Woods over Renfro and just be okay with it.
I would too, but at the same time, I would prefer to start D-Hop over all of them.
100%.
You know what I mean? I agree. I get the thought process, and I think this is the smartest move going forward.
Mike, what's up, Mike? I got on Twitch. I got offered Rodgers and James.
Mike's first time on the stream, eh?
Yeah. I think so.
Thanks for joining us. Drop a follow if you haven't yet.
I got offered Rodgers and James Robinson for Brady and Godwin. Should I accept? Aaron Rodgers and James Robinson for Brady and Godwin. Should I accept? I think that all depends on your running back depth and what's happening there.
What are your needs?
Yeah. You know? I like the idea of getting Brady because Zach's saying like Rodgers could miss up to 3 weeks, especially in the bye week.
Well, you just think about it, right? I mean, Rodgers has a bye week still. And he's definitely missing this week. Could miss next week. So there's only 3 games left until most people playoffs, which means you could not have Rodgers for 3 out of the next 6 games. So I'm cool with that trade. I'm good with that trade. And it does depend if you don't need Robinson.
Yeah.
We're going to quickly go through Twitch. Pick my flex, A.J. Brown, CMC, Henderson, or Lamb. I mean, bro, you're setting us up for a massive fail here. These are all must-start players, and one of them is probably going to have 30 points. I would go CMC, but they're all must-starts. I ask you because I know Smitty would instantly say Lamb. We like Lamb, but I still think if CMC plays, you have to start him. Just had to drop Saints defense to fit CMC, but I have Bills defense. Is that good for the rest of the season? Of course. I mean, those are the best defense in the NFL right now.
Yeah,
I know it sounds crazy, but they are, even statistically. Back to YouTube.
Back to YouTube here. Here we go. Okay, so Yeet, should I drop? We did that. Thomas, try to pull off a deal with Zeke and Cooper for Jones and Thielen. That could be interesting. I think I'll still want Zeke and Cooper personally over Jones and Thielen.
Aaron Jones and Adam Thielen? That's what I would also prefer Zeke and Cooper.
That's what I'm assuming.
I think you just don't want the same players on the same team, but I would prefer Zeke and Cooper.
Sideline Star, do you like Sterling Shepard? He's available on waiver wires in my league. Oh, depends on who you drop. You know, if you drop somebody and he's not necessarily available, I'm happy to, or he's not necessarily valuable, then I'm happy to pick up Sterling and put him on IR if you have an extra spot.
Yeah, I'm only picking him up if I can drop a no name. Bubba Chuck was apparently Iverson's nickname in high school.
Bubba Chuck, yeah, he says no need to go to high school reunion to see who's the most successful, honestly.
True. Hey, no, but Iverson was in debt for a while.
Yeah, I think he filed for bankruptcy, didn't he?
Huh?
Didn't he file for bankruptcy?
I don't know that, but I know that he was in debt for a while. Yeet date. I got Debo, Hill, Jamar, and Godwin on wide receiver. So I think this was referring to... Yeah, you still keep Judy, though. You could trade Judy for more. He said, I got Waddle, too. Yeah, I mean, I would... These are still valuable pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Sapp running the mile against Iverson and Jim was no fun. That's funny. Thunder, what's up, my guy? I don't think we've seen you on the stream before. Welcome. No. Tyrod, Taylor, or Kirk Cousins. I have Kyler, but he's questionable. I would think we both say Kirk.
Yeah, absolutely.
If D-Hop is active, do you start him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
You have to. I think it also depends on your options. You know, like if you got a Mike Williams or a D-Hop, you might as well start Mike Williams. Or Hollywood Brown or... But, yeah, I mean, you have to start D-Hop. Yeah, you just have to start your stars.
You have to start him. B-Dubs, can you see Devonte taking over the rest of the season, hanging on to him, waiting for the breakout? Yeah, absolutely. He definitely can take over it. There is a question, though. Like, I mean, Melvin has been still doing his thing. He did his thing last week, kind of, if I'm not mistaken. But Devonte, we do believe he still should be getting that workload soon. I mean, he's gotten it, but he hasn't been consistent.
I think it's going to take an injury to Melvin for them to give Devonte the workload.
Mm-hmm. I do believe
I want it to happen, but
yeah.
And it doesn't make sense that it's not happening because in like all these categories statistically, he's got like the most broken tackles. Like he's been like the most efficient running back with what he's been given. But for whatever reason, they're still giving Melvin work over Devonte. I'll say this: if you can trade for Devonte low in Dynasty right now, you should absolutely do that because he's going to be a monster once it sits his backfield. I just don't know if that's going to happen this year unless there's an injury to Melvin. I would be willing to trade Devonte in redraft.
Any chances Rodgers gets suspended? He could.
I don't think so.
He could, but I don't think so either. I mean, everyone knew. They knew it.
You should actually, if you guys don't know, you should actually go watch Aaron Rodgers' interview with Pat McAfee. It's a 40-minute interview. He talks about the vaccination and everything. Here's the deal. Tim Tebow came on ESPN and was talking to Stephen A. He's like, if you suspend someone for lying, then where is the line? Because you could probably suspend every player for lying. Like, you know what I mean? If the reason you're suspending him is because he lied, well, where does that stop? So I don't think they suspend Aaron Rodgers. Also, what does the NFL want to do? They want to make money. Are they really going to suspend the NFL MVP? I don't think so.
We'll see what happens. Jim, I got to start Hardman if Debo is out non-PPR. What do you think?
Not ideal, but
if you have to, you have to. We do believe Debo will play, but if he doesn't, then we get it.
You just gotta hope for a McCole Hardman touchdown.
And Ed Sapp Lamb's a little banged up. I think he's fine. I could be wrong. I didn't see him on the injury report.
Lamb is a little banged up. He got an ankle injury. I think Wednesday he suffered an ankle injury during practice, but he should be playing. Everything points to him playing. But yeah, it is concerning.
Yeet, PPR quarterback Carr, A-Rod out, running back Chubb, Taylor Swift, Edmonds, wide receivers Hill, Debo, Jamar, Godwin is Najee for Debo, Godwin, and Edmonds. A good deal. Debo, I mean, that's a lot of people there. I mean, I would be taken out.
So his running backs, he's already got Chubb, Taylor, Swift. Oh, but he's trying to trade. He's trying to get Najee.
Najee
for Debo, Godwin, and Evans.
I think that's a lot. That's too much.
The thing is, you need those wide receivers, though. If you lose Debo and Godwin, your only wide receiver is Jamar. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You have to rely on Debo and Godwin in your lineups weekly. So.
What else we have here? It's Happy File for Bankruptcy. Talking about Allen Iverson. Okay. James Martin. Roberto Woods, Brandon Cook, Claypool, T. Higgins, Van Jefferson, star 3, Woods, Claypool, T. Maybe Cooks.
That one's hard because Cooks.
I like Cooks as well.
Cooks has his buddy back.
I'm
the
going,
guy who
I'm
made
going
him a top 15 wide receiver.
Roberto, Brandon, Claypool. That's what I'm doing.
I'm gonna sit Claypool out of the 3.
Okay.
It's close. He gets $50 million at age 50 thanks to Reebok deal. Oh, well, he's chilling.
He's chilling.
Wouldn't be suspended for not following mask rules and testing for non-vax players. I don't know, man. I don't think he's, again, like, what does the NFL want to do? They want to make money. So I don't imagine they suspend Aaron Rodgers.
Them making money is suspending him.
No, it's not, because then
he has to find
there's less people watching the games. There's less people in tuned if he's on prime time. And there's less people going to the games or wanting to buy the tickets. They want to make money. And, for example, the Chiefs versus Packers game, there would have been so many people watching that. There will still be people watching it, but not as many because Aaron Rodgers is not going to play, I don't know. He could be suspended. I just don't think it makes sense for the NFL financially, and all they care about is money. That's what most businesses care about.
Okay, let's go on Twitch here. Epic. So Lamb versus Deontay Johnson. I would personally go, if you're talking about rest of the season, I would personally go Deontay Johnson. CMC or Eckler. That's hard, but it has to be Eckler because he's been just healthy so far.
There's already a lot of reason for concern with CMC.
Yeah, and then he's saying Devontae is good for Dynasty. They're saving Devontae. Absolutely. Some of these trade questions are painful. Not as painful a 32-man league with 3 flex and a massive bench, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually wild.
Where we are.
Yeet said I'd have Jamar and Hill left. I was thinking instead of having to bench Godwin or Debo weekly, maybe trade for Najee.
I agree.
Yeah, you know what? It's not a terrible idea, but here's the deal, Yeet. If one of those players gets injured, your roster is just screwed. You know, let's say Najee gets injured next week.
No.
Then you got a bunch of holes you have to fill.
Let's not say that.
I don't want it to happen.
We're not saying that.
But it happens every week. Someone gets injured. So I wouldn't do that yet. That's a trade that I would probably make around the week before the deadline. That's a trade that I would make then.
Okay.
B-Dubs, worried about Adams at all with Love? Start Patterson over him?
You have to start Devonte Adams. I personally think. Start you stars. Cordell Patterson.
You got to start Devonte. I think what's helpful is there's not even a better second option than Devonte. Yeah, you got to go Devonte.
Except night, y'all. Good luck tomorrow. Go Cowboys.
I can't say go Cowboys, but
I can't say that either. But I
appreciate you joining us.
Appreciate you, James Martin. Would y'all trade Kadarius Toney for Frymuth? I have no fan, but looks like he is not clearing COVID.
He won't play this week.
He won't play this week. So I would
personally, is more valuable though.
I would personally be taking a chance on a random tight end on the waiver wires. Maybe his backup. I don't even know how to say his name. Maybe you can get a CJ Who's Your Mama. Maybe you can get.
He also says he's weak at wide receiver.
No, Jonnu Smith.
You can't do that. If Tony's healthy rest of season, he could be a top 24 wide receiver. Like from this point onwards.
Yeet.
So no, you can't make that.
I do believe the Giants are gonna come together and do a nice little run when everyone's healthy. Hopefully. Could be wrong. Just my optimism as a Giants fan. Yeet. Should I be looking for an upgrade or backup for either Pitts or A-Rod?
Not for Pitts.
Not for Pitts. I think A-Rod.
Yeah.
It's a good. It's a good like. It's never anything wrong. All depends on who's your waiver wire. Maybe Daniel Jones. Maybe I don't know if Kirk Cousins there. Trevor Lawrence, depending on your leagues.
Trevor Lawrence, I would say after this week is a really good pickup. His schedule after the Bills game is very favorable.
Derek Carr as well is pretty favorable.
Derek Carr's got a great rest of season schedule. Tony or Bateman? Tony.
Yeah, Tony.
If Tony's healthy, Tony. But Bateman's still going to be great. Thanks for joining Epic Games. He said he's going to game. Good night. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for joining us.
That new Vanguard's out.
Tony and Bateman's close, but I think Tony feels like the more necessary piece to the offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's up, brother? It has been a minute. How you doing in fantasy? I'm assuming not too well because you haven't been in the stream, or
maybe he's been killing it.
He's been killing it, and you don't need the help, and you just haven't. Maybe life is busy. Back at work, the world's open back up. Now you can travel. Why don't you come to Australia? Sydney, Australia. Come see us. We meet at the Opera House. What do you think?
This has just gone so many different places. I hope you're doing well, Aditya. Another question from James Martin here. Ingram or Kenyon Drake? I think I would actually go Ingram here.
I would go Ingram as well. I like Ingram. I should have picked him up, and I'm pretty frustrated about myself. You're 100% correct. I have been visiting the stream enough. I'm 4-4. It's okay. There's still opportunity. I'm 4-4.
Hey, 4-4 is not bad, dude.
Yeah.
I am 1-7 in one league, so could be worse.
You can still get an opportunity to make the playoffs. Should I keep Monty and Kittle on the roster or consider trading them? It's a good question.
Take this one. Montgomery was a trade for 2 weeks in a row for me now. His rest of season schedule is amazing. He's going to be the guy. You don't trade Monty because his value is at an all-time low right now. You definitely hold him. I think he can be a top 10 running back rest of the season after the bye week. As far as Kittle goes, his value is also at an all-time low. So I don't think you can trade him away.
Yeah, he was also.
You put Kittle on the block in one of our leagues.
Yeah, I put Kittle on the trade for one to see what type of value I got. No one has responded, but I'm willing to trade Kittle, but I'm also willing to keep him.
I think
he came back.
The value right now is not worth flipping,
especially with Debo out this week, or not out, but questionable, and he's hurting with that calf injury. Yeah. I think Kittle can step up, so we can see, and you can have the opportunity. Oh, Kittle's back, boom. Sell him high if you like. But
I think Kittle might be back this week, yeah.
No, he's already confirmed playing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's going to be fun to see. Aditya says Gibson flopped. Yeah, man, that injury really set him back, unfortunately. You can drop Callaway, yes.
Yes.
You definitely can.
I'm stacked at running backs and have Pitts at tight end also. Do you think Pitts is going to produce the rest of the season? Only really had 2 good games against bad teams. Look, that's my thought process. I know Zach's thought process might be a little bit different. Now, especially with Calvin really out, it could be a lot more opportunity and targets for him coming his way. So it's a little bit hard right now. It has been against bad defenses, but also Calvin Ridley wasn't there. Oh, both of those games, Calvin Ridley wasn't there.
No, that's not true. One of them he was.
Oh, one of them he was? Okay.
The issue with
it's hard. That's hard.
Pitts is not Pitts. Pitts isn't the problem. The problem is every defense is now double teaming Kyle Pitts. I mean, if you watch the game against the Saints, there was someone down below, there was someone over the top. So any time they were throwing to Kyle Pitts, there was double or triple coverage on him. So what's unfortunate for Pitts is that his ceiling is now limited because there's literally no one else to look at on that offense. So I would still go Pitts, though, over Kittle. I think Pitts is going to be more necessary to his team.
I think I would still go Kittle. I'm happy with Kittle. I know what he can do. I do agree it was against 2 bad defenses, and that's my only argument for Pitts is against 2 bad defenses. When it was against a decent defense, he only dropped 2 points, and we saw that. I guess that's for me the proof. But I do believe he's extremely talented, and he could be the guy. I mean,
the opposite side of that coin is Kittle's not really been good when he was healthy.
Well, you're right, but
still, 4 points one game, 8 points the other game.
Yeah.
Just as much as we're talking about Pitts underperforming at some point, so as Kittle. I'm gonna go Pitts. I just think they have to find more ways now to get him involved creatively. But I don't think there's a bad option. They're both gonna be good. I would just slightly lean Pitts there. No worries, James. It's all good, bro. I'm glad that you're able to join us. 60 hours, my guy's putting in work.
Honestly, I wish I could.
But yeah, I mean, just to settle that, I mean, yes, Calvin Ridley's being out is really hurt Pitts in fantasy. He was looking like he was a top 3 tight end, and then with Calvin Ridley gone, that's all defenses have to focus on is Pitts.
Pitts. Yeah, I definitely agree. So, any other questions, guys? I don't think we have anything on Twitch.
Is that it?
Let us know.
Y'all feeling good? Y'all feeling confident?
Tell us how you feel about this new Call of Duty Vanguard if you guys haven't played it.
I like it.
It's actually nice. Right? Shit game, man. Shit game.
Fucking hell. We played Vanguard last night with some of the friends, and every game, Badaki's like, "This game's shit. I'm gonna return it." It's like, bro, vibe killer. It's actually a good game.
No, it's actually a good game. Aditya, no, we still aren't affiliated on Twitch. Why?
We have everything in place. Like, we're eligible to be affiliated.
Yeah, it's just we're waiting on quote unquote just think of it as a business number. We haven't received that business number yet, and it's quote unquote going to take 3 months, which is extremely frustrating. So whenever we get that number, we're going to put all the Twitch affiliate back, and you can sign up to get, Twitch. I don't know how it works. We need to figure it out. But then also back on YouTube, super chats and stuff like that. So
yeah, unfortunately, super chats on YouTube have been taken off for now, and same with we can't do Twitch. We just have to get this EIN number. So annoying. It's taking like 3 months, but we'll be back with all that real soon. If you guys really want questions, Greg Joseph or Nick Folk? I mean, probably Greg Joseph, but that's impossible to really predict.
You love
Get
to
Rogered. I know. We'll get to it. Get Rogered says, "Do you think D-Hop is better start with or without Kyler?" I would say he's better with Kyler.
I agree.
But you have to start him if he plays regardless. The Kyler connection's always been there. We've actually never seen Colt with D-Hop.
No, we've seen Colt with the New York Football Giants, and we won against the Seattle Seahawks in one of the toughest stadiums to lose or to win in. But at the same time, there was no fans.
Aditya says, "I played it for like an hour with my friends, then stopped." Bro, I like it. I don't know why you don't like it. It reminds me of when I was in freshman year. Like when they have Dome and we played Dome, I was just like, bro, this is my freshman year. This reminds me going after school, getting on with the boys. I liked Vanguard. I still like it right now. I think it's a good game.
I'm gonna really like Warzone. The Warzone from the Vanguard.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And also, the movement feels fine to me. I know people are talking about movement feels fine to me. It doesn't feel like Cold War.
Movement is like a little too fast. And maybe that's because I have the certain perks on, but I could be wrong. I need to double check that. I only played it. First time I played it was last night. What's up, little boy?
Edmonds or Connor? I mean, you got to go. Wait, he said standard PPR. See, that's confusing because there's standard, half PPR, and PPR. Standard means there's no points per reception.
Maybe he just meant like the standard PPR one.
It's just like a regular PPR league.
Regular standard league. Regular standard PPR league. We're going to go Chase Edmonds.
It's a standard half PPR league.
Yeah.
James, it's got to be Chase Edmonds.
Yeah.
If it's PPR.
What do you do with Edmonds? You keep him. You hold on to him. You don't trade him away unless you can get some good value for him. But
let's talk about players that you would trade for. Trade Edmonds away. So let's see, PPR leagues. Chase Edmonds. I would prefer to have the following players. I'm just trying to make a list in my head.
I can tell you who: Damian Harris, Antonio Gibson, Michael Carter, Nick Chubb, Zach Moss, Josh Jacobs. If Saquon doesn't come back, I think I still want Chase Edmonds. Elijah Mitchell, Monty.
Sorry, my wife just. So in Australia, they have these deals with McDonald's.
What's the deal? What's the deal
out this
today?
deal. This deal's unreal today.
Is it like the 2 cheeseburgers?
Can you guys see this? It's
kind of flipped. So it says 30 days, November 7th. It's that
$9, 2 small fries, 2 Cokes, and I think that's 12 chicken nuggets, all for $9. Talk about a deal.
Talk it up, huh?
Sign me up. It's a small 10-piece chicken McNugget meal with 2 fries and 2 Cokes. Jesus
Christ.
Yeah, I agree with what you said about Edmonds. I think VCG. Let's go quick fire through these.
Yeah, quick fire. Okay. VCG's Gaskin, Darrell, Boston Scott, or Herbert at running back 2. I think I'm going to go Gaskin. Good startup. Starting line.
Friendly fact. I keep saying this because it's crazy and it blows my mind. There's only one running back that has more targets this year than Myles Gaskin. Only one. That's DeAndre Swift.
I want to see this stat, but we'll talk about it later.
I'll use lineups. I use Fantasy Pros for that.
Okay.
Standard half PPR points, 2 times multiplier for reception league. What's the question?
I guess that's what he was saying about his standard PPR half.
No, I think he's just joking.
Like we were. Okay.
Here's my starting lineup.
That's funny though. That's funny.
I like it, bro. Chubb or Edmonds?
Chubb. I'm done with Chubb dropping 8 points. He won't drop 8 points.
He could, but you have to start him.
He could, but yeah. Adicia 12. That's like 30.
Traded Montgomery and Hawkinson for CD, McKissick, and Higbee. What do you think?
Don't love it. I don't love it because I understand Higbee is on this high, great, amazing offense. He hasn't produced. He's been a minimum. He's been consistent 7, 8, 9 points. Consistent 7, 8, 9 points.
I'll say this. If you needed help at wide receiver, I'm okay with it. Otherwise, I don't like it because I really think Montgomery comes back and he's a top 10 running back rest of season.
You just have a good schedule.
But yeah, I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have some good luck this week.
It's all love, y'all. I appreciate it. Week 9, huh? Let's go New York Football Giants. Getting their 3rd win this week. Talk it up here. Hey. As a Giants fan, I just want to ramble. Quick second. We played great against the Kansas City Chiefs. And when I say great, defensively, play calling was absolutely terrible. But defense played great. I think we could have won that game. We shot ourselves in the foot like we do every single time.
Bang, bang.
And I do believe we could beat the Raiders, and that sounds crazy, but I do believe we had every single game, besides the ones we got blown out. Obviously, we lost by less than a field goal or less. Extremely frustrating. But I mean that's football. So I think that's something to be said. The 3 teams that we lost to are really good teams. Besides the Broncos, we got blown out by. Cowboys got blown out by the Rams. The rest of the teams, we could have beat. That's all I want to say.
Okay.
How do you feel? You feel good about that?
Feel good. I'm ready to go eat some Maccas.
All right, y'all. All love.
Appreciate y'all.
Deuce and a bubble goose, huh?
Yes.
A lot of those.